like you just don't know what decision to choose? You feel like you want to go one way, but your logic and everybody else is telling you you should go another way? Well, today I'm going to help you right here, right now, to know 2 easy ways to make the best decisions when it comes to manifesting. What up, party people of the streets? How are you doing today? Welcome back, and I'm so glad you're here. Today it is raining. Actually, it wasn't raining all day. It just started like 30 minutes ago. So luckily I'm in this gazebo. A lot of times we make our decisions from a fearful place because that's how we've been taught how to make our decisions. And there are times that we just make those decisions because people tell us we should, because they're used to making their decisions from fear. And so we listen to other people rather than listen to what we want. Remember what I told you about dream stompers? And I told you how when we're wanting to follow our heart, how dream stompers will come along and tell us we can't do something and why we shouldn't. And I also told you how our minds will tell us all the logical reasons of why we shouldn't even think of doing the things that we want to do. We already have our lower self, our ego self, which is typically centered in our mind, working against us. And I don't want to say, well, when I say working against us, I say working against what we feel in our heart, what we want to go for, what we would dream of doing. But then here comes the logic and all the reasoning of why we shouldn't go with our heart, because we were just often taught not to do that. Welcome to day 22. I'm going to give you 2 ways to make decisions when you're manifesting. For me, I would feel confident in saying they work all the time. Of course, everybody's different, and it depends on your ability to stay on target with what you need to be feeling, thinking, believing in your manifesting. But for me, these are no-brainer ways to make the best decisions when you're manifesting. Okay. The first decision method is love versus fear. There's always 2 and only 2 choices to choose from when you're making any decision. The first choice is from love, and that would be your heart center. And the second choice is fear, which usually comes from the head center. Always choose from the heart. Always ask yourself when you're making any decision, is this decision from a place of fear? Am I worried about, well, if I don't do this, then that might happen. And if I don't do this, people might think this or that. Or how could that ever happen? Because I think I'm just living in a dream world if I choose from my heart. Those kind of things are all your lower self, your ego, your fears working against you, trying to keep you small, trying to keep you away from what you really desire. If you choose from love, you're coming from a place of your heart. It's a place where this really feels like what I want. This makes me feel good. This makes me feel happy. If I had any choice, it would be this choice from my heart. If I could choose anything, I would go with my heart, the answer that aligns with my heart. But then that head starts talking really loud and really loud and really loud and tries to get you to change your mind. And probably 90% of the time you do change your mind. And guess what? It keeps you far from what you want in your life. It keeps you from manifesting what you desire in your life. It keeps you from living the life of your dreams, because the answers that come from your heart are the ones that are going to get you to where you want to be. The answers that come from your head will keep you away from where you want to be. So you've got to keep that in mind. If I listen to this fear, if I listen to this logic in my head, or what other people are saying because they choose from fear, I'm going to keep experiencing the same thing I always experience. And I won't be living the dreams that I'm manifesting or desiring to live in my life. But if I choose from my heart, I'm getting closer and closer to it. And guess what? I feel a lot better too. It's very simple. Now, I've said this before, but it's worth mentioning again, that when you're really trying to make your decision, go ahead and let your head talk. Listen to all the reasons why you shouldn't do what you want to do. Let it talk. Let it give you all the reasoning, all the good reasonings and fears about, oh my gosh, if you do this, this will happen, that will happen, this will happen, that will happen. Go ahead, listen to it. But then say, okay, I've heard enough of that. Now let me ask my heart. And let your heart tell you all the reasons why you should follow your heart. And the main reason is always going to be because it's going to get you closer to what you're manifesting, what you want in your life. Why wouldn't you choose that? You know, life is all about choices. And I believe we came here with a destiny, but we get to make choices on how we get there. You can keep making choices from your fear in your head, and it'll just take you longer to get there, if you ever get there, if you ever decide to take a leap of faith or a choice from your heart. And actually, the more you start making those decisions from your heart and just being brave enough to do it, regardless of the fears that might come up or what other people say, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And then it's just not an issue anymore. You just start doing it naturally, and it doesn't even matter anymore what anybody else thinks, okay? So start choosing from your heart. Okay, and now number 2 way of making a choice in the best way for your manifesting. This one is a no-brainer. It's so easy. It's so simple. If it's not a 100 complete yes, then it's a no. If what you're wondering or what you're deciding or what you're thinking about doing is not a 100% yes, then it is a 100% no. So that way you're not like teeter-tottering and wondering, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? If you're not sure, if you're not 100% sure, you just end it and say, no, this is not for me right now. And you know what? It might be for you later, or maybe it needs to come in a different way. But at that moment, if you have any bit of, it doesn't feel like an all the way yes. Now this is not should I or shouldn't I. I guess it could be should I or shouldn't I, but it's more to me, I'm going to do this. How does it feel? Does it feel good all the way? Or is there part of it that feels bad or part of it that feels unsure? And I'm not talking about the unsure of your mind telling you you shouldn't do it. The first way of love and fear, that is one thing. Yes and no is, should I do this? Should I go on this trip? How does it feel? It's not about the fear making you feel like you shouldn't do it. It's just, how does it feel to me? Is it resonating for me 100%? Just forget about the details of what it would take and all of that. Is this idea, is this thought resonating with me 100% or not? Okay, because the details doesn't matter. It's first, is it resonating with you? Is it jiving with you? Does it feel completely right to you? Because if there's any part of it that doesn't, then it's a no. And again, this is not about fighting with your head or your head getting in the way with telling you shouldn't do it. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about asking yourself, is this something I would really want to do for myself, regardless of what it will take to do it? If it's not a 100% yes, then it's a no. Following these 2 methods of how to make decisions when it comes to manifesting is really helpful. I do it all the time and it works. And the other thing is, if you're tossing something back and forth so much that you can't make a decision, well, that's a decision too. Not making a decision is making a decision. So don't get caught up in that game either. To be honest, people who don't make decisions because they can't make a decision, that just gets on my nerves so bad. Because you know what? That's a delay tactic. That's an excuse to not do anything because you can't make up your decision, so then you don't do anything. That's a cop-out. Make a decision. I can understand if you're not sure about something, but these methods will help you get through that. But not making a decision is making a decision, and it's a decision to cop out, to not make a decision, to stay in a place of limbo, and it's exactly that. It's a cop-out. So I hope that these methods help you. Test them out. I'm sure that they will help you to make quicker decisions and better decisions, and definitely this is a recipe for decisions for manifesting. So on this journey, you want to use these techniques to help you the most you can. Okay, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 23. Bye, everyone.